Hi guys. Okay, so last time we did row 1 through 4. I just did row 5 to 10. We're going to do the last row, which is 11, and then we're going to go 12, 13, 14, and then 15 we'll stop. I've decided we're not going to do too much all at once. I mean, this is about 30 something rows in total, but you guys can tell how far we've gone. This is a lot smaller, so this is going to be a bit bigger. So we just did about that much right there. We're going to go a little bit smaller. Right here. See how we do decreases now? And then we'll get a little bit bigger. We might go out to about row 16. I haven't decided yet. You can tell I've been using my crochet counter, but just so that we don't forget how to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's 30 stitches all the way around. It looks like a little basket. I think it's cute. We're going to keep going. I'm going to pull some yarn over. And we're going to do row 11, and then we'll start row 12. I did this while watching my other videos, and I realized that I don't zoom in as much as I used to when I would show how to make each stitch, which I think is a-okay because you're not here to learn how to make a stitch. I already showed you guys that in my previous videos, but I feel like I should have zoomed in on to tell you where exactly or how to do it, but you know, you live and you learn. I am so sorry about that noise. That is somebody else in the house with their phone ringing. I'm being quiet because I'm just trying to get this done out of the way. If you guys want me to slow down, I can redo a row. If you guys need, just comment what you guys need help with. Even let me know, like, hey, I have this pattern I need help with. And I'll be like, sure, give me the link and I'll make a video. Somebody, if you hear clicking, clacking, that's my beagle who's supposed to be asleep, but she's not because she decided after sleeping all day and allowing me to work all day that the moment I start filming, she's going to make as much racket as possible. There she goes again. I did have to change my nail polish in between videos because the other nail polish was old and the bottle was old. It was something I'd taken from my mom. And are you really scratching yourself right now? Making as much noise as possible. Sorry, guys. Anyways, where was I? What was I doing? Nail polish. I'm always told by my parents to do my nails before I film a video, because they decide to watch my videos on our big TV in the living room, and they're like, oh, look, see, we can see every single thing on your nails. And I'm like, I'm assuming most people are going to watch this on a computer, not really like the TV you watch, you know, the news on, but things. All right. that was row 11. Here we go. Hook that in. There we go. Row 11, and now we're going to decrease and then 4 single crochets, which means that at the end of this section right here, you're gonna, are you serious right now? Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm back. That was my dog trying to get outside. Okay. What was I talking about? We just did row 11. We're going to do row 12. Doing a decrease, you take two stitches and you join them. So that counts as 1 and then 4. So you're going to have 5 stitches in that section. So while I'll be counting, we'll be counting by 5s. Alright, now I did show you guys 2 versions of a decrease. I showed you the easy version, which is just like this, that, and then do it again. I have realized since then, I really like doing an invisible decrease. It looks nicer, it looks smoother, you can't tell. And that way, it's this one where you just hook this front part of the V right here, and then you do the same right next to it. So you take both those stitches, see how you have now 3, and then yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now you have a decrease. Now we're going to do 4 single crochets. One, 2, 3, 4. You now have 1 decrease and 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. Right there. Decrease 4 single crochets. So that's 5. And we're going to keep going by 5. So don't forget to hold tension. And we're going to do the same right here. You can tell, hook it. That's 1. And then there's 2. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. That's 1. And do 4 single crochets. So that's 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, sorry about that, 3 single crochets, 4 single crochets. We have now decreased, and you can tell it's a bit smaller. That is now 10 stitches. We're trying to get to 25. So we just did this twice. So we need 3 more times. Hold tension. Show you guys again. 1. Oh, I can do this, I promise. I know what I'm doing. Maybe. And yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. I find this a lot easier to do and a lot easier to work with. So that's a decrease, and then we do 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, 3 single crochets, and 4 single crochets. You now have 15, and we've done this 3 times. We're going to do it again. I find when you are doing a what's it called? An invisible decrease, it's easier to go like this versus pushing through. Because you can have a lot more, how do you call it? Precision when you are doing that. My hook is pretty long, but I use just this one section. Then we yarn over, pull through both, yarn over, pull through. Alright, and now we're going to do 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, 3 single crochets, 4 single crochets, it's already looking a bit smaller. You can tell because it's, instead of going straight, you're going a little curved inward. That is now 20 stitches that we've made. We're going to do 1 more decrease. So, oh, there we go. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left because that's your last. So that was 21, 22, 23, 24th stitch, take this off, and 25 stitch. I'm just gonna put this back. Give me one sec, there's something going on with my lighting. Nope, that looks bad. There you go. We just did this. We have 25 single crochets, and now you guys have done this, so you guys know how to just do 25 single crochets. In this way of doing the invisible stitch, you end up with a very even looking row, and so you can't even tell where I decreased. I can't even tell. The only way you can tell is if you look right there. You see that right there? Those are the other side of the stitches that we didn't click, that we didn't grab. That's how you can tell where you've decreased. Yeah. Let me see if you can tell there. See right there, all the way around. So I'm going to do row 13, which is just single crochet all the way around. You guys can follow along. You don't have to. I'm going to grab some more yarn. I really hope this starts changing color because this is color changing. This is an ombre yarn. Alright. Now, this is the one that we decreased, and look how easy it is to just act like it's a normal stitch. Can't even tell that it's a decrease. If you guys want to comment and let me know what made you want to start crocheting. What was that one thing that made you be like, I have to learn how to crochet. I want to make this product or this project. I've seen people do temperature blankets, which takes about a year. I think those are pretty cool. They're really crazy looking. Sorry. There you go. But I've also seen people do temperature pillows for the month and have 12 months. So they have 12 pillows. I think it's pretty cool. I've also seen people do, what is it called? Locations, where they crochet the name that they visited, that state, in the order of the states that they visited. Somebody who goes on road trips a lot, which I would love road trips where you could just crochet, crochet, crochet. You know, I think I would be a pretty good passenger princess, you know, or a backseat princess where I just have the whole back seat to crochet. Probably be making myself a blanket by the end of the trip. I'll have an entire queen size blanket. That would be nice. I can tell you guys how I started to crochet. I didn't actually start with crochet. When I was younger, my mom was trying to make me and my two brothers, oops, hold up. Here, let me, and there we go. Me and my two brothers our own blankets, so she would knit these squares and then she would crochet them together. Problem with that is she doesn't know how to crochet. Her crochet method, she took a hook, she took yarn, and she was like, all right, I'm just gonna, she does it like she would a sewing. It's really cute. So when I started learning how to crochet, and I learned how to do actual stitching and like actual crochet things, my mom is in awe every single time. All right, we just did row 13. We're gonna do row 14, which is the same thing. You just do, instead of 4 single crochets afterwards, you do 3. So there you go. Follow along, making a green basket. Let me show you guys the decrease again. 1, oop, 2, oops, there you go. I messed up on that one. Did you guys see that? There you go. And ta-da! So that's 1, and then we're gonna do 3 single crochets. I know I grabbed that. 1, 2, and 3. Sorry about that, guys. Now we're going to do our decrease. There you go. You just saw that? I messed up. Which is okay. You can always mess up. You can always redo. And you can always remake. That's what I love about crochet. Because even something that you're almost done with, that was a decrease, this is 1, you can always make it again. 2, 3, so that's now 8 stitches. You guys can tell, starting to go ahead and shrink a bit. Here's our third decrease. 1, 2. There you go. Ta-da! And now we're going to do 3. So yeah, my mom taught me how to knit. And for one of my birthdays growing up, I was gifted a CD, or like a how to knit kit sort of thing. Let's see, right there. See those two? That means 1, 2. This is the third single crochet. And I watched it and I learned how to knit. And then I decided to rent from the public library. There's a decrease. These how to knit videos. And I took it very well. And from there, that was a decrease. There we go. 3 single crochets. I learned how to knit. And then I learned how to make hats. And I liked it, but I didn't like the constant, like, if you want something that looks nice and small, you have to use super thin needles. And we don't have very thick needles. Yeah, knitting needles. I have very thin knitting needles. So it was either super thick or super thin, and there was no in between. Which, I mean, for my mom, she likes that. She likes just doing it and watching TV and not focusing. I feel like I have to focus on something. Otherwise, I'm like, no way. If you look closely, right there, you can see this one hole and that hole. And that means this is our decrease right there. So this is 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, 3 single crochet. Now we're on to our last decrease. That is 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. And you can tell it's already starting to be a bit smaller. Click that, make sure we remember a row. I don't know why I'm doing this. You guys need to focus on this. So we just did that. We're going to do 15, which is just 20 single crochets round. And we'll keep going. So, I'm going to grab some more yarn. I learned how to make hats. I learned how to make beanies. Those were pretty simple. It's those little round things where you just like pass the thing around. I really liked it. And then about a year or so ago, I went to the Tennessee Renaissance Festival here in Nashville. I think it's during June or May. And I was walking around. A friend of mine who I'd already known for years, she had already crocheted me things. And I've seen it, but I've never actually done it myself. And I saw this girl, she had a service dog with a Gryffindor service dog vest. And I thought, that chick has to be a cool person for her dog to have that cool service dog vest. And I didn't want to go talk to her about her dog, because that you're not supposed to do that. But I wanted to go and talk to her and just see what she had to sell, because she had to be pretty cool. And she was selling some crochet stuff that she made, and she was also selling these crochet kits. And I thought that was so cool. I loved the little crochet things, and I was like, you know, I should probably learn how to make this. I want to learn how to make this. And I was like, I'm going to support this person, so let me buy this kit and let me learn how to crochet. Well, I bought that in June or something, and I didn't try to start making it until about October, or August actually, when I decided I was going to make something for my mom. So I spent about 2 weeks trying to figure out how to hold yarn and how to hold the hook, because the kit, yes, it had a QR code for a how to have the pictures, the instructions with pictures, but it was all for right-handed, and I'm not right-handed. I don't know if you can tell. And so I was very discouraged, and I was like, okay, row 1. It didn't even say row 1. It just said the first thing you do is magic ring 6. Cool. It also said you have to have basic crochet knowledge. Okay. Well, you can YouTube everything now. I spent 2 weeks trying to learn how to make magic ring. Once I got it, I got it. And then I started learning how to make the different stitches, how to do all that, how to work it around, how to tell which side is the right side. And then I made it. And I don't know, I didn't use the yarn that it came with. I used just some random yarn I had lying around. And it was a little ghost, and I gave it to my mom, and she loves it. She has it hanging on one of her purses. We just did row 15. And so it took me about a week, and then once I learned how to do the basic stitching, I was able to learn how to read a pattern, and then I started making more things. And then I bought another kit from, I think it was clearance in Walmart, and that also taught me. And then I went online. I was like, hey, let me make other things. And so let me show you some of the things I have written in here. Here's the little ghost. This is the pattern, the very first pattern I learned. See how it says MR6 and then it has row 1? But then I also have, where is it? I made a cowl. I made gloves. I tried making mitts. What is this? Let's see. What is this? This is another bunny I made that everything was separate and was written really complicated. So I wrote it down. What else? Then I learned how to make treble crochet, double treble, treble treble. And then I made this for a friend of mine. She's a really big Stray Kids fan, and so I made this. It's a little, I don't even know what it's called. And I made that, and it comes with a shirt where you sew the thing. And then I made this cat because a friend of mine, her cat had passed, and so I made her cat. And then I learned how to make a square dog. And then a cubed kitty. And then here. And then I'm going to write the pattern for something else later. But yeah. I decided, even though I could see the patterns online, I preferred writing them on my own. And you can tell I already have notes in here. It's a lot easier to write it and adjust it. See how this wasn't written on the website. I added it along with the start stuffing here. Online, or in the original pattern, it says to add stuffing here, not anywhere before then. So it's really complicated. So we just did row 15. We're at about 24 minutes. I think that's good enough for today. row 16 through, I think we'll do 18, and then I'll stuff, and then we'll increase. That will be next video. I had a great time today. I hope you guys did too. We now have the base for our little bunny. We have about to here. The last 3 stitches, 3 rows are right here. Because you 18 is right here, and then 19 is when you increase. So we're right here, right around where you would add your arms. So I see you guys next time for row 16, 17, 18, and maybe 19. Good luck. Let me know if there's any issues with your crochet, if you guys want to change something. Have a good day.